Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. My name is Kyrielle. Today I come to you with my moon face because today we are going to be testing out the brand new e.l.f. Putty bronzers. I'm super excited to try these out. I picked up two shades. I've got Feelin Shady and Tan Lines, which is the first and second palest shade in the product line. I've been on a cream product kick lately, so as soon as I saw this drop in, I knew I had to try it out. I'm also going to do some swatch comparisons of some of my other cream bronzer products, just so maybe this will help you narrow down a shade if you are looking into buying this, which if you are interested, I'll link where you can buy it down below. I personally picked this up from e.l.f.'s website and they are £6 each. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the details of this product, do some swatches, and then let's try this out on my face and give me some shape, because currently I could light up the night sky. By the way, if you're curious about this makeup, I unboxed and tested out the products from the P. Louise budget box and also did a makeup look with one of the Stackham eyeshadow palettes. This is the Talk Is Cheap palette, so yeah, if you're interested in that video, I'll link it in the eye up here for you guys. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's get right into these bronzers. So let's get into the details. So these are currently £6 each. I will say they are a little smaller than what I thought they were going to be, especially since we've just had the Makeup Revolution one, but then again that is a lot more expensive at £15. If I just take one out of the box for comparison, this is the Makeup Revolution one and then this is the e.l.f. one. So it's a lot smaller than some of the other bronzers that have come out. This is 10 grams of product and this has 28 grams of product, so you do get quite a lot more in the Makeup Revolution one. I haven't tried the e.l.f. one yet, so I don't know if the formula is comparable, but let me know if you would like a little battle between these two to see which one's better. I'd definitely be up for doing that. The actual component isn't that much bigger than the Putty eye primer. This is the primer, this is the bronzer. They're very similar size. I do think there's a lot less product in here though. This does feel kind of like weighty though, so I feel like it's just minimal packaging, which e.l.f. tend to do. They come in 5 different shades. The shade range does look pretty decent. They can obviously expand on it. I would like to see a shade in between these two fairer shades, but the actual ratio looks pretty decent. It's supposed to be a putty to powder bronzer, highly pigmented, buildable, and give you a natural sun-kissed glow, which they say is like a semi-matte finish. They also say it's supposed to smooth and even out your complexion, be lightweight, non-greasy, but it does have moisturizing ingredients like argan oil and vitamin E in there. But yeah, they say it's supposed to blend easily and blur into the skin, which sounds like a dream. They say it's for all skin types and all of e.l.f.'s products are cruelty-free and vegan, which is amazing. Makes you question why the bigger brands can't do that as well, you know? But that's neither here nor there. That's all they say on the website, so I'm excited to try this on my face. But first, let's do some comparison and get into some swatches. Alright, first up, I'm gonna swatch Feelin Shady. Just one swipe so you can see the tone. Just go over it one more time to build it up a little. So that is Feelin Shady. Alright, so here are the rest of my kind of contour shades. First up we have the Fenty Beauty Cream Bronzer in the shade Amber. Next over we have the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the same shade Amber. You can see there's a slight difference in tone even with the same brand. Then next over we have the Morphe Dimension Stick in the shade Effect number 12. And then finally we have the Made by Mitchell Blushed Bronze in the shade Hollow there. And that is all of my kind of contour shades next to the e.l.f. bronzer. I'm just gonna swatch the shade Tan Lines just so you can see how it goes on my arm. Just build it up a little bit more so you guys can see. So as you can see, a lot warmer than all of the kind of cool tone shades I have. Okay, and here are the kind of bronzer shades that I decided to include. There's a bit of variation with this one, so let's just get into it. So the first one I have is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer in the shade Toast. As you can see, it kind of has a little bit of a cool undertone to it. It's not quite warm. I tend to use it as a all-in-one, so a bronzer and a contour. Because of the cooler undertone, I can get away with it, but because it's so dark, it also warms me up. It's a bit of a weird one, but I do still use it, so I wanted to include it. Next over we have the XX Revolution Inspire Cream Bronzer. As you can see, these two shades are a little bit closer in colour and tone. Then we have the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair, which as you can see is not fair at all. It has a little bit of a cool tone undertone, but honestly I could not use this as a contour because it's way too deep for me. And then we have the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer, and this is in the shade Warm Beige, which I got for bronzing. So as you can see, that's a little bit closer to the actual bronzer shades. But yeah, this is all of the shades compared. I hope this helps you guys out in some kind of way. Let's now get into applying it to my face because my arm is about to drop off. Alright, let's try this baby on my face. I'm excited. I have not set my actual foundation yet. I've set my under eyes, but nowhere else. It is a cream product, so I want to give it the best chance. But let's get into trying this out, shall we? So I have swatched it, and it is a very creamy feeling formula. The fact that this is supposed to be like cream to powder kind of shocks me with how creamy it feels. But I'm going to go in with my brush and just pick up a little bit of product. It does feel like very emollient, you know? Let me just set you a little. There we go, that looks better. Okay, let's try this out on my cheeks. This is Feelin Shady. So I'm going more in like the contours with this one because that's the kind of shade it is. Using a smaller brush. Okay, so it's not too heavily pigmented, so feeling a little bit more confident now. I'm going in a little bit heavier. But you can see that instant kind of shadow. This is definitely more of a contour shade than a bronzer shade, so I am glad I picked up the other shade to actually bring some warmth in. But this is a great shade for pale people, you know? It is super easy to just blend the edges. Look at that. Is that makeup or is that just my face shaped that way? Do I have very high cheekbones? That is what everybody is going to be wondering when I walk down the street with this on. Like, look at that. That looks so natural. Like shadow wise, it is a perfect tone for contour. I will say I love and hate that. Paler people do want actual bronzers as well, you know, so I'm hoping the other shade I picked up will be okay for me. Looking at it though, I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little dark. I'm loving the formula so far. It doesn't pick up any of the foundation. It is buildable, as they say. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Like, look at it before and after. Are you joking? I have cheekbones, guys. What I've always wanted. I feel like the easiest way to apply this is pat on the product and then swirl around the edges and it just blends it seamlessly. I mean, you can apply it whatever way you want. I don't think you'd have a problem with it, but this is just the easiest way I'm finding to get the color down and then just blend it into my skin. It says that they're highly pigmented and I feel like they are, but not too intense. Like, they're buildable and they sheer out, which is the most important thing. I always make a different shape on either side of my face. It's so annoying. Looking at the texture of the product on my skin, it's a lot more creamy than the current products on my face. So I have a lot of shine going on where it is right now. I would personally powder this product though. It does say that it's putty to powder though, so interested to see if this will actually dry down. But so far, I am really liking this. I also can fake a jawline with this, which I appreciate. Be gone and double chin, you know what I mean? I'm just getting a sponge involved on here because I did not blend my foundation that well. That is not the cream bronzer's fault, so please ignore that. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the shade Tan Lines. A lot warmer, but also it's quite dark. These are the two shades side by side. This is Feelin Shady. As you can see, the tone's a lot different. I'm hoping this is just going to bring a slightly yellow tone warmth to my face because that is what I prefer. I just hope it's not too red or too warm, you know what I mean? I hope it gives me a golden glow, which is actually what they say on the website, I believe. So fingers crossed. I know you guys have already seen swatches, but I'm just going to put them side by side. When they swatch, they do not look as intense as they do in the pan, so that's great. It definitely doesn't look too red either from first impressions of the shade. Let's just get it on my face, shall we? I'm gonna go in with a slightly fluffier brush and let's just go on in. Okay, as I said, a little bit more on the deeper tone. Ooh. Okay, definitely yellower in tone. This is going great. I like to be able to build up a product, especially when it comes to bronzers, and this definitely appears to be one of those products. The good thing is though, I don't feel scared dipping into the pan that I'm going to pick up too much, and it is just blending effortlessly. Like, especially with this brush. This is typically a powder brush and it is almost acting like a powder the way it just blends on top. Like, I'm so happy with that. They blended together really well as well. If I'm gonna contour with something, I need to make sure that it can blend in with my bronzer so it's not too stark or anything, and these two are working really well. I mean, I know they're the same product, but sometimes with contours, okay, they can be a bit patchy. That's why I love my Fenty Matchstick and Cream Bronzer, because they're a perfect kind of tone and they just work so well. So it's going to be nice to have some affordable alternatives, you know, just lightly building this up. But yeah, you can go in a little bit more heavy-handed if you wanted to. I'm just going in side and pulling it back into the contour. Then you can just do little circular motions like this and it blends in. Not blends away, blends in, which is what I want, you know? Sometimes I do want to go a bit more heavy-handed with a bronzer, but I need it to be able to blend out, especially because I am on the fairer side. As you can see, I have quite a bit of shine to my skin, but I haven't set it yet. I am a tad worried about that because I do have oilier skin. I can't do a wear test today, but I'll definitely check back in with you guys and use this in another video and update you, because I definitely am going to be trying this more. I'm just going to take a little bit of Feelin Shady and I'm going to contour my nose a little bit. I have been playing around with the way I contour my nose recently. I don't do it all the time, but I do like to do it majority of the time. But I just kind of like to contour the tip of my nose these days. I just feel like it suits my face a little bit better. Like, this is going to be great for nose contour because of how creamy and blendable it is. Yeah, I'd say that's worked pretty well. I'm loving the way my face is looking. I do feel quite snatched. Even on my chubbier side, I have a bit more dimension. So yeah, I'm loving this so far. I definitely feel like I would need to powder it. Even though it says cream to powder, there's definitely quite a bit of shine to the product. I think it has kind of mellowed out a little bit, but there's a little bit of tackiness. The swatches on my hands still have a little bit of shine to them as well, so I'm assuming this product is just going to stay this way. It did say it was going to give a skin-like finish and that it's semi-matte, so this is what I was expecting. So yeah, I don't mind powdering it down. If it looks this seamless, I ain't mad. I'm gonna go ahead, finish off my face, and then I'll be right back to discuss my thoughts. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright, so let's talk about these bronzers and what I think about them. So as you can see, I finished up my base and I powdered everything, but you can still see the subtle contouring on my face. I haven't added any powder bronzer, anything like that. This is all just the creams. I do find that with some cream products, they kind of disappear once you powder them, which is highly annoying once you spend all that time just blending and it just goes away. But I'm happy to report these are still visible and I really like my makeup today. I had no trouble powdering them down. They haven't gone patchy, they're still seamless, and yeah, I'm really loving the formula of these so far, and it is making me want to try some of their blushes. Drugstore is definitely coming for high-end crown, okay? This is virgin on one of my favorite formulas for cream bronzers so far. Obviously it's early days, I don't know how it's gonna last throughout the day or anything, but it looks so good on the skin. I'm happy that Tan Lines was a good shade for me and that it wasn't too deep and I can make it work. I feel like if you're in the paler shade range that this would work for you, and you can definitely build this up if you want it to be a little bit more intense. I really like these and I would definitely recommend them, especially for the price as well. They just work so good. Alright, well that is it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth review with the swatches and everything, and it aided you in whether you think you're gonna purchase this or not. It's time for me to be off, but if you are new, make sure you subscribe, hit the red button down below and the bell button so you get notified of when I upload next. Go on, you know you want to. Give a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, I love you and leave you. I hope I see you on the next one. Till then, bye guys.